At the age of 19, Monica Seles was on top of the world, the best player in women's tennis, with good reason to believe she might become one of the very best ever. Then, one sunny April day, resting courtside during a match, she was stabbed in the back by a deranged fan of a rival player. Physical recovery was difficult, emotional recovery even harder. Though she came back to win another Grand Slam title, she never regained her previous success. In a new memoir called Getting a Grip on My Body, My Mind, Myself, she explains her struggles with depression and binge eating. If you'd like to talk with her, our phone number is 800-989-8255. Email us, talk@npr.org. You can also join the conversation on our website. Go to npr.org, click on Talk of the Nation. Monica Seles joins us from NPR's Bureau in New York, and welcome to Talk of the Nation.
Thanks for having me, Neil.
And when did you begin to lose control of yourself? Was it that day you were stabbed?
No, that's where I think it started. Obviously, my stabbing was one of the biggest contributors. I was 19 years old, and then I didn't come back to professional tennis for about 2 years. And in that time, I gained over 20 pounds. And then my father, about a year later, was diagnosed with stomach cancer, which eventually took his life away, and I put on another 10 to 15 pounds. So eventually I was playing with about extra 35 pounds on my frame. And I don't know how much you follow tennis, but that's a lot of extra luggage to carry around.
I try to run very, very slowly, and that would be a lot of luggage for me to carry around.
Well, that was really one of the main reasons why I decided to write my book, Getting a Grip, was because I wanted to share with women across the country my personal journey. And I've been giving talks for the past 10 years to women. And I realized how many other women share the problem that I had, overeating or not eating. But at the end of the day, the issues are the same. It's emotionally what's happening in our lives. And it's just food is a masking agent, and I did a very good job of that for 9 years. I was masking my emotional issues with it, and it sure enough manifested itself in my tremendous weight gain.
And as you look back on it, sure, the trigger was the day you were stabbed, and the tremendous unfairness of all of that, and the loss of your great career. Nevertheless, was there an underlying psychological condition that contributed to it that was there all along?
Oh, no, not at all. No, I've never had really any problems with weight beforehand. And here I was at 19, sitting courtside at a tennis match, going about my business. And the tennis court is my home. This is what I love to do. And this was my safe environment. And something terrible like that happened. Then physically, I couldn't play for about 8 to 9 months. And then emotionally, I just wasn't ready to return. So altogether, I was away from the sport 2.5 years, where I really didn't do much, so I came back with extra weight. Then on top of that, I learned very soon my father was diagnosed with cancer. So emotionally, my father was really my best friend. He was my tennis coach, someone I was very close to growing up. I owe my career really to him. And so with that, I gained even more weight.
Sure.
And then obviously, you're in the public eye, the comments get to be really tough. So you get more and more self-defenses. I retreated into my own shell, since I'm naturally a shy person, and the number just kept going higher and higher, and unfortunately hurt my career. I mean, one of the reasons why I had to retire at an early age of 30 because of a foot injury that I had, and I truly believe that one of the reasons why I had it at such a young age was because I carried all that extra weight around for over 9 years.
I was interested to read in your book because, this was obviously a terrible thing that happened, but that it must have been awfully frustrating, all of us thought, for you to then go see the player. She had nothing to do with it. Steffi Graf, the man was a fan of hers. He was crazy. He stabbed you because, you were the number one in the world, preventing her, he thought, from her rightful place. But nevertheless, to see her lifting trophies that you might have won, and how frustrating that was for you.
It was definitely a very difficult period of my life, and as you can imagine, I think when you look in my book, Getting a Grip, I chronicled it, part of it in pictures, and you can see the unhappiness that I had in how much weight I gained and how much more I was eating myself. But my goal, and which I hope comes through in that book, is that I overcame that. Once at age 21, I decided to return to playing tennis. I realized that I didn't want anybody I didn't want to give that power to somebody to take the sport away from me that I loved. then I said, okay, I have to move on. And that's what I did. And, my career was never the same as it was beforehand, but, I viewed the sport differently, but my love for the sport never changed. But at the end of the day, everybody viewed me as a tough competitor, mentally so strong, but yet underneath it all, I was just like every other woman out there battling, in my case, overeating and really battling my own self-image and how much it affected me and the emotional highs and lows in general of life, which all of us have. And I'll keep having them for the rest of my life, but I dealt with them in not the best way, counter-effectively.
Our guest, of course, is Monica Seles. Her new book is called Getting a Grip on My Body, My Mind, Myself. 800-989-8255. Email us, talk@npr.org. And let's start with David. David calling from Jacksonville, Florida.
Hi, David.
Hello.
Hi, David.
Hi, David.
You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hi, guys. How's everyone?
Oh, very good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, Monica. Big fan of yours.
Thank you, sir.
Wanted to know if you see yourself getting back into professional tennis at the higher levels. Would love to see you back. And just a quick comment, by the way, I saw you on the internet on a couple of images I looked at. You look great these days.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, returning to professional tennis to a level that I would be happy at, I had to rule out last year, about a year ago, because of my foot. I tried for about 4 years before I announced my retirement because I wanted to be absolutely sure that I've given it my best. And my foot, my left foot, has just not recovered, so I really can't run for long periods of time or any strenuous exercise like professional tennis. So I'm left to watch it, like any other fan, and I enjoy watching it now. I do play recreationally for fun, but nothing like the good old days when I would play 5-6 hours a day, 6 weeks. And, the way I look now, it took me a long time to come into who I think I am right now. But I hope, and what I want to share with the women out there who are going through the similar issues that I was, would that be overeating or not eating, and the struggles, because I lived this for 9 years. That was really the main reason why I wanted to write this book, because it's such a personal thing, and I kept it hidden for such a long period of time, that to know that there is a way out of this darkness. And I'm a living proof of that. I mean, if you interviewed me 6 years ago and you would have told me, well, when you retire and when you stop working at 5-6 hours a day, that's when you're going to start losing weight, I would have told you, Neil, what are you talking about? And that's what happened to me exactly.
David, thanks very much.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, David. Bye.